out live. And the good thing for you, dang it, I didn't get water. I got stuck on the computer, so I wasn't able to deliver what it is that I want to give. But we are here. We're going to make magic happen. So as you check in, tell me where you're checking in from. Hey, everybody, glad you're here. We are going to be talking about one of the most powerful things that I have ever shared, and literally mean that on so many levels. And I apologize, I'm not able to do this the way that I wanted to do it. Ran into some technical difficulties, so we are going to pivot. We are going to pivot and still show up in a way that can support you in what it is that you want to create. So wherever you're checking in from, please check in. Like if you're in a Potential Zone group, .com, then tell me if you are checking in live or if you are watching replay. That would be greatly appreciated. And if you're over on TikTok, please tell me where you're checking in from. I'd love to see where everybody's checking in from. This is mission critical, one of the most important trainings I've ever did. And the reason this is important is because so many people out there are working jobs that they're not happy with. So many people out there has lots of amazing things that they want to create, but they don't understand how to bring it to the marketplace. And the other part of that is being able to stand in and trust your own ability to be able to create money out of thin air. Friends, understand this. When you can create money out of thin air, it is a great place to be because you are not at the mercy of somebody else. And you trust your ability to make things happen. So the reason I say that is being able to do this, you being able to understand how to take your inspiration and turn it into money, and also not only take your inspiration, but also learning how to deliver different levels of value. Because what determines how much money you make, no matter what you're doing, is the value you bring to the marketplace. And this is what I want to share with you in being able to expand and show you. I'm going to shut this down because this is what I was hoping to create for you, but I wasn't able to do it. So if you're just jumping on here, let me do some sharing on here. So just hang tight. I want to be sharing this with everybody because this is going to be a mission message that everybody wants to hear, especially if you are a creator or somebody that wants to influence, a coach, whatever it is that you do where you deliver a service or product, you will definitely want to hear this message because this has everything to do with how you bring your message to the marketplace and how you can scale it. Because friends, understand that if you're trading time for money, you are never going to be able to scale it. And most coaches, this has been my experience as well, friend, understand your subconscious. Oh my goodness. Cannot believe I do not have this turned in. I was running behind. And so let me do this. Hang on, everybody. I'm setting up my mic. Sorry about that. Some of you might not be able to hear me the way you wanted to hear me. And so, hey, Jason, good to see you, brother. So if everybody jumping on here on TikTok, if you could tell me where you're checking in from, and then if you could share this with everybody, this is going to be a very, 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 very important message for everybody. And what I mean by that is what determines how much wealth you create, how much money you make, is a reflection of the value you bring to the marketplace. Okay. The marketplace is what absorbs whatever it is that you put out there. And so your ability to be able to know the value that you bring, knowing how to put it into a way that is consumable, like good old Mary Kay, she used to say something that was pretty profound. Is it easy? Does it work? And can I do it? Is it easy? Does it work? And can I do it? Right? Like that's a powerful, powerful marketing message so that you can be able to put things out there that can impact other people to get them to invest into themselves so that you can radically change their life. And so one of the things that I have noticed more than anything else, and this comes up with entrepreneurs all the time, entrepreneurs, creators, influencers, like I've trained some of the best coaches out there, some of the best creators, like people that are making massive, massive differences out there. And some of the things that I have seen with them that has stopped them from stepping into their greatness is their own self-identity, right? And the more you value what it is that you really bring, and more importantly, you really valuing the price that you've paid to learn the things that you have learned, right? this is so important, friends, is because, see, when we do something out of necessity, we don't really value it because we are the one that's inside of the picture and we don't see ourselves inside of the picture. So I want to really put some things into your awareness so that you can understand how important it is for you to step into what it is that you really want to say. Because understand what, okay, let me just ask you, Helen, it's great to see you. So glad you're always here. Helen is like, we had one conversation and she was in her generate $6,000 like right after that, within a couple hours. She just had a session with another client. I would love to hear how that went for her, because I supported her in how to get her message clear, how to put it in a way that gets people to invite them into investing in themselves, right? And whatever issues we have with money, this is going to come up when we start talking to somebody else, because salesmen, let's just real talk here. Salesmen have done a great job to get people to really have a visceral response when it comes to selling something. And that's just because people don't understand what selling means. Sales is literally a Latin word that means to serve, right? And so when you have something that you can get somebody to invest into that's going to change their life, whose responsibility is it to do as much as possible to be able to articulate that message in a way and make an offer that really creates the greatest results for the person that's consuming the product? Whose responsibility is that? It is actually my responsibility to do every single thing that I can to create a message and an offer that will get somebody to invest into themselves in a way that will create the greatest results for them. Okay? It's just like if I had the cure for cancer, just like that just triggered me in a way because I don't have the cure for it. Okay, I'm just going to put that out there because there's powers to be that don't ever want us to use that word cure. There's a reason for that, by the way. But if I had something that was literally the cure for cancer, and I knew that if somebody took that on and that their cancer would go away efficiently and effectively and not be a part of their truer self, right? Which is a miracle, right? Like if I could show you how to do that, how enrolled would you be to do everything that you could to get that person to take on and let down their resistance and to take on whatever that is that they have to put within themselves in order to cure their cancer? You would not get caught up in their insecurities. You would not get caught up in their past programming, that, oh, that doesn't work, and blah, 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 whatever. You would probably stay pretty consistent and do pretty much like Helen said, whatever it takes, right? That is congruency. That is standing in your power. That is standing in your agency. When you understand that whatever you bring to the marketplace and you be able to deliver it powerfully, congruently, in a way that makes people understand the results that they're going to get as a result of the offer that you created out there, I believe it is my responsibility to do every single thing I can to make that happen for people, right? And so what I want to talk about today is literally understanding the different levels of delivering value. Now, I was going to draw this. However, I've got some technical challenges. They've changed some things and some updates that I wasn't aware of, so I wasn't able to do this in the way that I would like to do it. So keep coming back. I will get there, probably more of tomorrow or something else. But I want you to understand, if you look at awareness, so awareness is your bandwidth. You are not your feelings. You're not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You're not your programs. You are the awareness that is able to observe everything that goes inside of you, right? Like, who is it that observes the thoughts that you have, right? Like, this is your higher self. This is your awareness, right? So the more you understand this, you have the awareness on the baseline. So if you were to draw a line on the bottom and go, this is the baseline, this is my awareness. As I start moving up into the levels of value, I start understanding that my awareness gives me the ability to understand what is possible. In the last couple months, like I've been doing this for decades, right? In the last couple months, it has really astonished me. Like I have made some offers for people that are like ridiculously amazing, like ridiculous offers that are amazing for some people. But because of how they've been conditioned, they don't even see the opportunity, right? What they're looking at is like, this is going to cost me this much, rather than even seeing what they could create as a result of taking on and working and doing the things together that I want them to understand. They don't see that as investment. Now, some of them get them, and some of them are like, like freaking like a dog on a bone going to do whatever they can to make that happen, right? But there's some other people that they have been so conditioned and having a certain mindset that when opportunity shows up, they're not even able to distinguish it because of all the filtering system they have on. Okay. So the first level, again, looking at awareness. And if we were to draw, well, I'm just going to articulate this as the best I can because the training is going to make this way more powerful. And actually, I'll probably do it tomorrow. But the first level is task, right? Like you're exchanging time for money, right? Like I do a certain task. Like I doing jewelry. Like when I did jewelry work, I was literally exchanging my time for money. Like it took me I got paid by the hour, right? And there were certain things I got paid per piece and stuff like that. But it's like I have to do a transaction and an individual transaction. And out of that individual transaction, that's what I get paid. That's the value I deliver to the marketplace. So that's what I'm going to get paid. This is only going to get you so far. Like doing tasks for money, exchanging a task or time for money, it's very, very difficult for you to get over $100,000 a year. Is it possible? Yeah, but not much further than that. When you are doing individual tasks in exchange for money, there's only so far you can go because you can't scale it, right? Then you get into the next level. The next level is learning how to leverage. It's learning how to duplicate yourself. So I call this level leveraging, right? So like when I started getting into management in corporate world, my income went up a bit. Well, actually a lot better, more than what it was when I was trading time for money. Because see, when you start leveraging, now you can start managing people below you so that they're fulfilling a certain task and you are duplicating what it is you're doing. Like right now, I'm duplicating myself by being on here and communicating in a way that I can have this conversation with one person. I can have the same conversation with tens of thousands, millions of people, right? Like eventually we will get there, right? But that is being able to leverage your time. Okay. So as you move up from level one, doing the task, you go up into level two, which is leverage, your awareness is starting to expand, right? Then you get up into the next level. This is where, so with management, you can probably, maybe get into maybe a couple 100,000 a year, maybe, right? But again, you're very limited in what it is that you can create. Hey, Nina, it's always good to see you, right? But then you get up into the next level. The next level is communication, right? Like your ability to communicate in a way that moves lots and lots and lots of people, right? Like you can do it through video, you can do it through audio, you can do it through copy or writing or through a book. If you haven't got my book, by all means, go get it, right? In fact, over on TikTok, if you want to give me some likes, I'll give you a free copy of it. Well, everybody on here, right? But understand that if you get up into the communication aspect of it, with communication, now you're not only leveraging yourself, but you're putting out content, whatever that is actually going to work for you while you're asleep, right? This is where passive income starts coming in more and more and more. And what's really, really important about understanding this is so I've shared this a number of times. True healing, when this is a great evidence for you to know that you've truly healed through things that have held you back. True healing is when you're able to stand in your power that the wound denied you. Okay. And one of the things that I see with people more than anything, when you start speaking your truth, when you start sharing your voice, it's going to bring up all kinds of things for you to transcend. It just is what it is, right? So this is what happens is you have different energy centers within yourself. Obviously, you have an energy center which they call the third eye energy. It's like a vortex, right? You have your heart center that when you start speaking your truth, this is your agency, your congruency. Those two connect. Your heart and your mind connect and you speak powerfully, right? But what happens in doing it, this is the opportunity, right? Like you have to value what you bring to the marketplace, right? How do I work on my 3-point shot? This is not that conversation. Keep practicing. Well, actually, I could support you. I could really support you in getting everything that stands in the way of you nailing it every single time, right? So then you get into communication. Then this is the big one. Communication, you can make pretty substantial living. You can get up into the 7 figures, right? Depending on how well you do, how big your message is, how many people that it resonates with, this is so important. How much you value your message. And if you value your message, you are going to fuel your message. You're going to do whatever you can to get your message out there on as big as possible, because you can either do it with money or you can do it with time. Like with money, you can buy advertisement and get your voice out there in a bigger way. But see, this gives you the opportunity to move through some of the things that are keeping you playing at the level that you played up until now, right? Like I remember the very first video I ever did. It was about 14 years ago. My knees were shaking. I was like a wreck, freaking out, didn't know what I was doing. And like it took me 9 takes to finally get a video that I liked. It was over on the coast. And as soon as I got what I wanted, I went like that to wipe my nose because it was cold outside, right? And then I was never able to upload it, because this is back in the day when the camera that we had didn't YouTube wouldn't allow the format of the video that I had. It was a brand new camera that I got for a gift, right? But I kept going. I kept doing it. I kept moving through it. And it was just like 5-6 years ago, I said, I really want to be able to show up on camera like I do in real life, right? So I made that intention, and here you are. This is who I am. And it's taken lots and lots and lots of practice, lots of real-time feedback. Yes, I am a coach. I am not a basketball coach, though. I am a mindset performance transformational coach. That's what I do. I get people to step into their greatness, and I can support you in doing that, right? But I'm not a basketball coach. Actually, go read Tim Grover. That would be a great book for you, called Relentless. So the next level, like that's what I was saying on communication. And in the ROI Accelerator Challenge, like I'm not going to beg you to go do this, because I can lead you to the water, but you're the one that has to drink. The reason I'm saying this is because this is going to be the most powerful training I have ever did, right? And if you haven't signed up for it, I would highly recommend you go check out the ROI Accelerator Challenge, because I'm going to show you how to remember your greatest asset, which is your ability to create endless, whatever it is that you want to set out. Then I'm going to show you how to optimize everything that you've come up with, and getting very clear on what it is that you want to put out there in the world, whether you're a coach, influencer, author, speaker, whatever it is. I can show you how to monetize it and take it to an entirely different level. And then the I is for you to be able to influence in a powerful way. And whether you're a mother, whether you're a partner, whether you're a coach, whatever, how you articulate your message is going to have a lot of reflection on what you create, right? The number one thing that causes relationships to break down, whether it's your intimate partner, whether it's your business partner, whether it is your friend, I'm going to drop a truth bomb here. It is lack of clear communication. But see, most people don't even know what's going on inside of them so that they can communicate in a clear, effective way. And then let alone, because they don't know what's going on in themselves, when somebody else shows up in a way different than what they expected, the wounds get triggered and boom, we got a crap show, right? This is why relationships break down, because the other thing, what is it? What do we communicate? We communicate what we truly value. We communicate what we truly value, right? And what we truly value is what's driving us, right? And that's why I say all the time, we do not get what we want, we get what we are committed to, right? So as you start moving, so here you are, you start moving, and this is what you want to be committed to, and this is the desire that you want to create. As you start moving towards it, guess what? You're going to get in touch with every single thing that you have been committed to that's kept you playing at the level that you're at, right? So you've got to be able to put yourself into states and influence yourself so that you can move through the thresholds that will get you to the desired outcome, right? So influence is everything, right? Not only to influence yourself, but once you're able to do that, then you're not going to buy into other people's limiting beliefs, because every single conversation you're having with someone, friend, every single conversation you are having with anybody, somebody is enrolling somebody into something. Every single conversation, right? And that's where I'm going to teach you master level influence within the ROI Accelerator Challenge. This came to be because I wanted to create a course. I got the box, I got the production, I got everything set up for it. And it was the ultimate influencer. That was the course that I was going to create. And because of what I'm watching happening on on the propaganda and watching how people are wanting to kill each other because of what's going on the TV, I was like, you know what? I need to streamline this and make this happen a little bit quicker than what it was going to take for me to come out with the ultimate influencer. So that's why I created the ROI Accelerator Challenge, because once you understand how to clearly communicate, you move mountains. You move mountains, because Influence is all about knowing how to communicate effectively and knowing how to call people forward in a way that's not offensive, that and is in alignment with who they truly are. Here's a great question. How do you know you can trust somebody? How do you know you can trust somebody? Right? And there's strategies that I teach that I'm going to be teaching in the Roi Accelerator Challenge where you can literally get somebody to trust you within minutes, right? I'm not going to give you it all away, but the question is how do you know you can trust somebody? That question, you being able to answer that question is going to unlock endless possibilities for you. I just realized like Donald Trump does that a lot too. Like it's going to be huge. I didn't even realize I was just doing that. Wow. Donald Trump has programmed me to, I'm just messing with you. So the last level of value, yes, it is trusting yourself. But how do you know, but someone coming up to you, how do you know you can trust yourself or trust this person? Obviously, it's your ability to trust that, but there's something else that's important for you to make the distinction of whether or not you can trust that person. Who do you tend to trust? Who do you tend to trust? And yes, you're trusting your ability to make that distinction, but who is it that you tend to trust? Right? There's $1 million secret in what I just shared with you right there. And let's see if somebody comes up with it. But the last level of delivering value to the marketplace, which takes your earning capacity to an entirely different level, is creation. It's creation and imagination, right? Like you think about what Airbnb did. They created an arbitrage business, like blew up the hotel industry, like not blew it up, but like became a massive competitor against a very established hotel industry and not one piece of property. Uber obliterated the taxi cab industry without one single vehicle. Amazon obliterated mom and pop stores and not owned one product. They do now, right? But that's not how it started out. It started out selling other people's books. That's creation. That's imagination, right? Like me creating the products that I've created and being able to show people how to create things easily and effectively. But see, what is your relationship with being creative? Like there's so many people that deny themselves of really stepping into what they can create because they've got past experiences that have happened that deny them from owning their own creation, right? Like you're one decision away, you're one idea away from changing your economic future substantially, right? Like substantially. And I'm going to show you on this. That's so awesome. Thank you for the rose. That's awesome. I'm going to show you this in the ROI Accelerator Challenge because, see, friends, you have everything that you need is inside of you already, right? It's just being in environments that call that forward out of you, right? I know this is going to sound crazy. You are the golden goose. You are the golden goose, which is why I say remember your superhuman ability to create and to step into infinite possibilities. Because when you were a child, think about this. Think about this as being your fullest potential self. Okay? Like this marker, you came into this world, this represents your fullest potential self. But see, the moment we came out of the womb and we start becoming a human being, what ends up happening is the lock starts getting formed, right? And then we end up doing this to our fullest potential. And what I show people is I start loosening it up so that you can pull out your greatest, fullest potential self so that you can step into your greatness, right? And that's where I say optimize. Your ability to optimize is you knowing where to put your life force, where to put your energy. Everything in your life is energy, friends. You cannot create it or destroy it. You can generate it, right? But the more you understand how you get seduced into energetic fields from other people that put you into lower states, you stop doing it. You can literally start feeling how people show up and you can make assessments by trusting yourself and going, this person's sucking the life out of me. Or you can go, this person makes me feel alive and vibrant and I want to create more and more around this. Because the other thing about a big thing about optimization is your environment. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. And we are homeostasis, which means we will balance out to our environment. So are you in an environment that's calling you forward and lifting you up and making you and calling you, like I shared this on TikTok earlier today. In fact, if you guys are on here in my group, the potentialzonegroup.com, and you're not following me on TikTok, like I put a lot of content out on TikTok now. I was talking about this on TikTok, is I have an environment that I share an idea, and if there's anybody that squelches that idea, now, hear me out. I do not do the Hitler method. Friends, how much are you like Hitler? Okay? This is a drop bomb moment in what I'm about to share with you. See, a lot of you are like Hitler a lot more than what you think you are. I want that to get your attention. That's why I said it the way I said it. Now, what do I mean by being like Hitler? Hitler was kicked out, was not accepted into art school. So he got his feelings hurt, right? Well, how he took revenge is he took over a world, because there were some things about Hitler that he understood that most people didn't understand. Hitler understood hypnosis. And back then they had this wonderful device called a radio that everybody got enamored with, kind of like a television, right? They got enamored with the radio, and he hypnotized people into literally killing innocent people. So I put that out there, like, you are capable of things way beyond what you believe is possible, both darkness and light. Just saying that, okay? But the thing that Hitler would do, thank God, literally thank God that Hitler did this. But see, the unfortunate thing is we all do this too, but I'm glad Hitler did it. Anybody brought bad news to Hitler, negative feedback, he executed him. He would not take negative feedback. He executed him, right? So this is what we do. We will not take negative feedback because of the meaning that we attach to it. But see, sometimes we need to have an environment that literally shows up for us authentically, rather than rah, you're amazing, you can do it, like all that. Like, that's important, right? But if it's not accurate, and if it's not aligned with what you really want to create, then they're doing you a disservice. I have people in my corner that give me authentic feedback. Back, phone died. I'm so glad you're back, Helen. It's important to have you here, right? So don't do the Hitler method, right? Having 360-degree feedback. And this is one of the things that I do in any of my trainings, is I give people authentic feedback in how they're showing up. Because if you don't have somebody giving you authentic feedback, you are literally creating atrophy. And the very thing that you don't know could be the very thing that's costing you everything that you want to create, right? Like I'm going to give you I'm going to drop a truth bomb here that is so powerful. Most people, I got this from Peng Joon. Like, oh my gosh, Peng Joon, I got the utmost respect for him. Like, I was in a training with Peng Joon, Dan Locke, Alex Mendoza, Myron Golden, like really high trainers. It was amazing. And Peng Joon said something. And after I watched his testimony, oh my gosh, I had that much respect for him. He said, people aren't willing to suck long enough to get good. They're not willing to suck long enough to get good. And that is what stops. Like, everybody has heard 3 feet from gold. We all have heard that story from Napoleon Hill, right? People aren't willing to suck at something long enough for them to get good, right? They want to be perfectionists. They want to make it right out of the gate. But see, understand, friends, I've been doing videos for a very long time, and I have did a crap ton of really poor ones. Like, one of my adventures, like right after I got my first speaker training back in 2008, oh my gosh, they put me on a webinar. Over 1,000 people there. Over 1,000 people on that webinar. First webinar I did, crushed it. It was great. People were amazed. Oh, it was awesome. Second one I got on there, as soon as I was getting on that webinar, I had a technical issue. And it took me out of state, just took me out. I was like, oh my gosh, right? And could not get myself back into state. And ended up really botching that webinar, right? And then the next morning, my mentor called me up and said, hey, I got some emails last night that I want to read to you. And what it was people that were on that webinar sent him emails and like, this guy was atrocious. Don't you ever have him on there again. He's going to cost us our business. Like, what were you thinking? Like, just annihilate him. He read me every one of these emails. And I'm sitting there going, whoa, wow. And he says, guess what? Guess what you're doing? You're going to be doing the webinar again tonight. And friends, I'm telling you, since I've had that experience, I have never, ever been freaked out about technology. Like, I've done interviews where I bring people onto my podcast, and they're having challenges on their side of it and literally going into almost full-blown panic attacks. And I'm going, it's all good. We'll get here. Like, it's all good. We'll work through this. This is part of the opportunity that you get to go through so that we get to show up in an authentic way. Once you learn how to move through what you are afraid of, you are unstoppable. That do what you fear, and death of that fear is certain, right? Super, super important. I feel like I should make videos, but I freeze talking to people and myself on camera. Okay, if it's okay with you, Danielle, is it okay if I call you that? I would like to offer you some coaching. So everybody, what she said, she goes, I feel like I should make videos, but I freeze talking to myself on camera. How many of you can relate to that? Is it okay if I coach you for a minute? This is a powerful, powerful opportunity, okay? See, we're not afraid of what everybody else thinks. We're not afraid of what everybody else thinks. We're afraid of what we think. See, because what we do is we judge ourselves. And then we are afraid that everybody else is going to judge us the way we judge ourselves. What I just told you right there is freedom. These are our perceptions, and these are also our projectors. Okay. So this, like, okay, I'll share a truth bomb with you as well. When I was going bald back when I was in my mid-20s, right? I've been shaving my head long before it was in vogue. I was suicidal. Right? Like, oh my gosh, nobody's ever going to want me, blah, blah, blah. Like, I went through this whole really, really, really emotional, challenging time in my life. See, there was a number of things that I didn't realize how my hair was serving me at that time, right? But today, looking back on it, I can see exactly why I was suicidal, right? I got a scar down the back of my neck that's about that long, right? Because my whole neck is fused together from a car accident where I almost ended my sister's life, right? And see, my hair was super long when I started losing it. Well, guess what that hair served as? It served to cover my shame. And I didn't recognize it, that when I was going bald, my shame was going to be lost. But see, here's the other part. I judged people that were going bald horrifically. I used to tease them. See, that's the thing. Judge not, or you will be judged, right? Judge not, or you will be judged, which means whatever you project, whatever you judge other people, whatever you say about other people, you are saying it to yourself. Okay? So I'm going to drop another truth bomb for you, Danielle, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. That if I sat here, now I don't see you on camera, but if you showed up on camera, but I don't seem to judge others, only myself, right? But see, you judging yourself is what you make think other people are judging you. That's the fear, right? So if I said to you, if you came on camera, and I don't know if you know this or not, but you are an incredible shade of green. You're an incredible shade of green. It wouldn't land for you. Why? Because it's not part of your subconscious mind. It's not part of your subconscious mind. What offends us, it's what's already inside of us, right? So this is the opportunity for us to be able to transcend what we hold inside of us is the very thing that we want to do everything we can to protect ourselves so that nobody else recognizes that within us. But when we transcend that and we move through that, right? Then what anybody else says has no power, right? Like there's a bunch of people, Gary Vee's one of them, says, don't give a F what anybody else thinks. Okay, got it. I understand why you're doing that. However, it's a very, very limited way of seeing things because there's a big difference between not caring what people think and not allowing what people think in. We are biologically designed to connect with people. So I do care what people think of me, not in a narcissistic or egotistical way for myself, but I know that whatever they think of me is a reflection of them, right? And so whatever they think is like, okay, cool, this is an opportunity for me to see why they see what I see. I've been kicked out of gas stations when I came out to California at first because they thought I was a white supremacist. Didn't even know what a white supremacist was, like totally naive, right? Like at one time, I didn't know what the Confederate flag represented, like, right? So Danielle, here's something I want to offer you. This is really, really important because what do you value more? What do you value more? Because what we truly value at a deep subconscious level is what drives us. Okay. So what do you value more? Right. And there was a quote, I'd heard it a bunch of times, but then one day it landed like really, really, really well with me. And it says, you can have everything you want in life by helping somebody else get what they want. So right in that moment, I went, okay, cool. everything that I'm putting out there, I am more focused on what I can create for other people than being served myself, right? Like my biggest blessing is me supporting people and watching them grow and make the things happen that they make happen. That's the blessing that I get out of doing what I do, right? So let me ask you a question. What do you value? What do you value most? So let me give you a case in point. If you have children, I don't know how old you are, but you can go with me on this. If you have children, you're going to love your children. If you have a pet, you're going to love your pet, right? Well, one day your pet attacks your child. In that moment, you are going to have to assess in a nanosecond which one you value the most. Of course, it's going to be your child. Well, for most people, right? For most people, they're going to value their child most, right? So every decision you make is literally you clarifying what you truly value. So when we have difficulty doing something, we value our fear more than us valuing the message that is going to transform people's lives. Okay? And see, one of them, 110 and 13, a 10-year-old is not a baby. I'm sorry, my dear. A 10-year-old is not a baby, right? But see, if they are your life, then the greatest thing that you could ever do for them is you modeling what it means to go through their fear, because they're watching you. They are watching you, right? And so the more they watch mom push through her fears, the more they're going to be inspired to do the same thing, because now they are in their modeling years. They are watching mom, right? And see, sometimes, and friends, I do not hold back. I have no investment in holding back. I want you to imagine that you holding back and letting your fears control you, and from stepping into being on the camera and making messages, whatever it is that you want to put out there, is like literally somebody walking up to somebody and putting your finger over that and saying, or like that, and saying, you die because I held back. You playing small is literally costing somebody experiencing what you have to offer them. So again, what are you committed to? What are you really committed to, right? And see, our greatest desire is also our greatest fear, right? The reason we desire it is because there's a part of us, our higher self, is calling us forward. And in order for us to manifest that, we have to move through all the things that kept us playing at the level that we've been playing at, right? So Danielle, I highly, highly, highly recommend. Okay, so they say a suggestion is a subtle command. I'm just going to make a very, 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 very intentional suggestion. Get into the ROI Accelerator Challenge. I'm going to show you some things that are going to absolutely blow your mind and get you to truly stand into your greatness, right? Because see, again, what type of environment are you in? Are you in an environment where people are calling you forward and saying, I want more of you. I want more of you. You got a message that only you can deliver. It was given to you for a reason that nobody else in this world can deliver your message the way you can deliver it, right? Come forward. Come on. You can do this. I got your back. We're going to share with you everything that we need to share with you in order for you to stand in your greatness and value that nobody else has gone through what you've gone through. And therefore, nobody can communicate the message that you can communicate. No one, right? That's being self-centered. That's being self-centered. And I just did a video on this. This is our arrogance. Our arrogance says, well, who do you think you are? You have nothing to give to this world. Nobody's going to listen to you. That's your arrogance. That's your arrogance. And then our self-righteousness kicks in and says, well, I'm just going to listen to my fear and not really put my message out there because nobody's interested in what I have to say about this anyway. I know that nobody's going to love my message anyway. And I already know that this isn't going to help me because I've been doing this for whatever years and nobody's been able to help me. That's our self-righteousness. These are all variations of our ego, right? Your ego wants to keep you playing at the level you're playing at, okay? So let me just have a conversation with your ego, okay? Get in an environment that we can call you forward and support you to step into your greatness. Because I can just tell, like the emoticons that you're pushing out there, like I can just tell you've got a beautiful heart. I can feel it. Like you have an amazing, beautiful heart. Share it with the world. The greatest gift that you can share with somebody else is you. You are the greatest gift. Okay? So I appreciate everybody being here. I love you guys all so much, very much. So remember the top one. So if you're doing, Come back tomorrow. I will figure this out and get over to the potentialzonegroup.com. Get over to the potentialzonegroup.com. This is where all my recordings of all my lives go into. Amazing community. Put in lots and lots of amazing content in there. So get over there. I would love to have you be a part of the community and appreciate each and every one of you. You guys rock, each and every one of you. That's all, folks. I love your username. That's so awesome. All right, everybody, be blessed. Get over to roiacceleratorchallenge.com. roiacceleratorchallenge.com. It's $1. It's $1. I would encourage you to do the VIP one, those, because I'm going to be doing live coaching with the people in the group and live coaching inside of a group. Powerful. I've spent tens of thousands of hours with people in groups. Powerful strategy. So be blessed, everybody. Love, much love. And as always, live like your life depends on it, because it does. And the world deserves to see who you are. Take care.